You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Business Talk Radio. You're watching Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, the listening mentor. I join you every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 11 p.m. British Summer Time. I'm so happy to be here today to present part 2 of our tips and strategies on how to be an effective communicator. So if you were here yesterday, you know we reviewed tips 1 through 5, and today we're going to review tips 6 through 10. Okay, so what I want you to take away from this is one thing that's very important. We finished up yesterday with one that really will resonate with so many of us. Don't interrupt the speaker. No matter how much you feel this motivation to jump in because you have an incredible story to share, something amazing that is going to be mind-blowing to the presenter, let the presenter have the opportunity to share what it is that they want to share. Now, let's say you're listening to someone, and this can be personal or professional situation, even if you're in a family dynamic situation, and you're not actually clear on something that they said. So you want to ask a clarifying question. What do? You wait until the speaker takes a pause, and then you ask. And how you might frame it up is, just to clarify, Jim, I think what I heard you say is this. And then stop. Don't go into a long story or dissertation. Okay. Now, the next thing is, ask questions only to clarify. What do I mean by this? Many times people unwittingly, unknowingly will ask a question which is really to bring the story back to something that they wanted to talk about. So you might be speaking, and then I will say to you, oh, you just mentioned Jill. How's Jill doing, actually? I haven't spoken to her in a long time. I just was thinking the other day that she and I, blah, 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 whatever it is. Now you've gone from whatever the first person was talking about and happened to mention Jill to taking it down a completely different tangent for information that you're interested in about Jill. Now, if that happens, and it happens to all of us at some time or another, it's your responsibility as the interrupter to get the speaker back on track. So it could look something like this. Hey, I just was wondering how Jill is doing. I was thinking of giving her a call. We normally get together for the holidays. Oh, you know what? I'm really sorry about that. I want to talk about Jill, but let's talk about her after you're finished what you have to say. Is that okay? Yes. Okay. And by the way, that person's going to be feeling so good that you got it back on track. Okay. The next tip is compassion and empathy. When people are sharing stories, we don't know necessarily what the backstory is. We're hearing one bit of information that they're sharing with us. But in the meantime, there could be an entire months worth, years worth, decades worth of information that leads up to what we're hearing. I'll give an example of this. I was watching a reality TV show, which I'm not going to mention which one it was, and one of the characters was sharing her story about something that was happening in her life. And then it came out in the press that there was all this other information that this person never shared. And so her group of friends, her support group, was saying basically, wait a minute, we only heard the tip of the iceberg, and they were starting to judge. What might be a better approach is to try at that moment to have empathy for the person. They're sharing something that's really heartfelt, meaningful, whatever the case might be, and you don't want to jump to conclusions. So just try to have empathy and put yourself in their shoes. The next thing is you want to acknowledge that you are actively listening but you're not interrupting. And you're also not trying to solve the problem, the issue, come up with a solution. So if I'm telling a story that tornado came and I'm really concerned because the tide is high and I'm thinking that this might happen and that might happen, you might jump in and say, well, I know a lot about storms and I know a lot about tides, and so let me share this information with you. No, because now I'm still not able to share what it is that I'm feeling, and now it's over to you and what it is that you want to talk about. Okay, so a great way to give feedback are either nonverbal clues, gestures. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. Or you may want to say, I understand. Yes, thank you for sharing that. And just short, bite size. You're not interrupting. You're just letting the person know that you're there and you're actively listening. Okay, now, aside from regular feedback to the presenter, the next thing that I want to share with you is when someone's telling a story or they're speaking, what they're saying are words, and words only tell part of the story. Look at the person's body language. Look at how they're carrying themselves. Are they acting excited? Are they acting bored? Are they acting nervous? I don't know if that's a good nervous reaction, but how are they acting? So I might be telling you, I feel really good about myself, or I feel really good about myself, or I feel good about myself. Okay, so from those three sets of body languages and the way that I'm acting, you're going to be able to make some assessment. Why is that important? It's important because words are only skin deep, if you've heard that expression before. So when you are a good listener, your goal, again, it's not to make judgments. It's not to come up with solutions. It's not to try to fix something. It's not to interrupt. It's to be fully present, because this person is giving you their time and you can react any way you want. And we went through this yesterday. Okay. Now, if I'm talking and you're acting like this, what am I going to do? Oh, he's not interested. She's not interested. I'm going to start shrinking. Or I might say, you know what, forget you. You're never interested in anything I have to say. So what my goal is to give you tips and skills to be an effective listener, not to be right, not to have the last say, not to pass judgment, but to create relationships that are at a much deeper level, to be able to connect with people very quickly. And what happens when you connect and you show up authentically? What happens when someone comes onto one of my shows and let's say they're on the stage and I am doing this? Oh, I'm sorry. I was listening. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was listening. No, they're going to say, Dr. Jacalyn, it doesn't pay attention. Or let's say someone's telling their story, they're sharing whatever their journey is, and every time, 2 or 3 sentences, oh, you know what? Can you speed up because this is really not exciting? They're not going to come back on the show. I have to be completely engaged, regardless of what it is that they're saying, whether I agree with what they're saying, I don't agree with what they're saying. That is not my job. My job is to listen and give them a safe place to share their story, regardless of what my personal opinions are. So I hope that that was of value to you. If you want to be an effective listener, there are skills that you can learn, but you have to take the me out of it, and you have to be there for them. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. Tomorrow, I actually answer your questions. So whether you're watching live now or you're watching on the replay, I'd like to be able to select 2 questions. I don't have to use your name. And if we don't use your questions tomorrow, we can use them for a future show. So all you have to do is send them, and let me get my banner. Send them to Jacalyn at drjacalyn.com. Here's my email address. And the questions can be anything concerning listening, or how to have more effective relationships, how to be a better communicator, how to close more business. It can be anything in those areas. And again, I don't have to use your name. Okay, last thing I want to share with you is that I have a phenomenal, I'm putting so much work into this, listening seminar coming up. It's the power of listening. And I really would encourage all of you to come to this seminar. It's 90 minutes, 90, and it's $30. I'm still offering the early bird special so that it's affordable for everyone. So if you would like to join me, here's what you can expect. It's going to be very interactive. When I say interactive, what I mean is there's going to be audience engagement. I'm going to have videos for us to watch. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to, at the end, have us watch a couple actually role playing and then ask you to pick out the things that would be successful to be an effective communicator and the things that could be a distractor from being an effective communicator. So what do you have to do to join? You don't have to be available on September 16th. If you are, that's great. You can join on the live. Otherwise, you can actually get a link to watch anytime you want. So whether you're watching live or you're joining for one of our 3 shows on September 16th, please go to the link in my bio, which is Dr. Jacalyn, Jacalyn, or you can go to Eventbrite and you can search the power of listening. All right. Thank you so much for being here today. Thanks for listening. I look forward to being back tomorrow. And again, any questions that you want answered, ask the doctor, Jacalyn at drjacalyn.com. Thank you so much for being here today. Take care of yourselves, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I think we have 9 shows tomorrow. So I'm excited to bring some more stories to life as people from across the world come to our stage and share their stories. How can you watch? Go over to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV, and subscribe to watch all of our shows. Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, the Listening Mentor, signing off. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.